We are talking all about boards this week. All about boards. Are you guys familiar with boards? Do you know what boards is? All right, so we're going to go over some of the basics when it comes to boards. Because I am live streaming here on to Facebook, I'm going to say I probably am not going to be able to see the comments in real time because I'm going to obviously be doing some screen sharing. And so with the lag and everything else, just know that if I am not answering your questions, if you're putting them in the chat or below here, I will come back. I will answer them. I promise. I promise. Okay, let's go ahead and let's talk about boards for just a hot minute before I actually dive in and do a share screen and all of that. So what is boards? First and foremost, it is a really great tool for not only our Scentsy business, but if you do other ventures outside of Scentsy, even if it is with your kids, with your family, right? Like you could really expand how you use boards with so many different other ways. If you're involved in the PTA, if you do sports with the kids and you want to connect with like the moms and the parents and all the things, right? Boards are going to be a really great way to be able to do that. So don't limit yourself to the fact of thinking that it's just a business thing, right? You can really kind of push this out to a lot of other aspects of things that you do. So I just wanted to preface that because I know a lot of you do and are involved in a lot of other different things. So that's just my little PSA for the day. But what boards can do is it allows you to have the ability to very easily and quickly share information. Who else likes to share information? I love sharing information. And from someone who works 2 full-time jobs, I work full-time in the operating room at the hospital, right? I work my Scentsy full-time. I am back in school finishing my RN. So I'm doing school full-time on top of all of that, being a mom, being a grandma, doing all of the things, okay? I am busy. But let me tell you, even though I am busy, I do have things that I need to be able to do, right? On the fly, very easily, on the go. When I'm at work, I get very little time to be able to do a lot of communication back and forth. If I'm between cases, if it's not a crazy day, things like that, yeah, I'll be able to check my messages or check my emails, this and that, but I may not have time to like type out a full response. Or if there's a really good question that pops up and I'm like, oh, I wish I had more time to sit down and really answer this and share the links that I have that would be a good resource for this question. This is where boards comes into play. So here's how it works. It works on both desktop, so on whether you're on the computer, whether you're on the laptop, whatever it is, right? So the desktop version. It also is for mobile. So there's a mobile app, all right, that you can download. It is all free. Now I am going to talk about there is a paid version that you can upgrade to, but unless you're ready for that, you have absolutely no reason to go to the paid version. All right, so don't do it unless you start growing a team or you're growing such a big organization, whatever you're using it for, that you're like, I need more. Stick to the free plan, friends. Okay, stick to the free. The Boards app is going to look somewhat similar, but it's going to have a little bit different styling and usage from the app versus the desktop, okay? As you can probably imagine, right? Just with any other app. If you're doing Canva, well, I think you can pretty much do all the things you can anyway on desktop. But anyway, you get the point, right? There's certain things that you'll be able to do on the desktop version, certain things that you're going to be able to find to do easier on the mobile version. And when you are using it on the mobile version, just for funsies, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to open up in the group. And let's say I wanted to create a post and I wanted to talk about something. I'm going to show you just really quickly on my phone. There is going to be some follow-up videos to this. So today is our overview. All right. But don't worry, we're going to go through and I'm going to actually screen share directly from my phone for the next video. So for those of you following on YouTube, or if you're watching this later, you can always catch us on my YouTube channel. So make sure that you are following me there. Here's how you do it from your phone. All right. So I am on Facebook. Here I am in the group, right? Let's say I wanted to share something very quickly. If I wanted to do that, I'm using it as an alternate keyboard. If you can see down here where the little world is. So those of us who are iPhone users, we know that's where our alternate keyboard lives, right? So if you use Bitmoji, in fact, let me go to my Bitmoji. You'll see when I click on my Bitmoji, there we go. So, right. So if I clicked on that again, I'm going to click on it again. It's really hard to do when I'm trying to do it from there. Click on it again. Oops, I'm totally missing it. Yeah, totally. There it goes. All right, so there are my boards. So that's how I get to it, right? So if I wanted to post something in the group that maybe somebody had a question, all I have to do is click on that. And what it's going to do is it's automatically going to populate up here on Facebook, right? And in this case, now this is just an example, but the one that I clicked on was just one of the things that I have in here as like a contact request, somebody who just randomly reached out to me. And this is a really quick way for me to just respond back with a little bit about me. And then of course it goes into with my website and then it takes them directly there. The link is there. All right. So I'm not going to post that. You guys here in the group don't, care about or need that. But that's just a very quick example to show how you're going to use it on mobile. Like I said, we will do the next video will be from my phone. So stay tuned for that. Today, we're going to go on the desktop, but that is how easy it is, right? So it's so much easier for you to respond, to send messages. And now with updates that boards have done so far to date, as of today, August 22nd of 2023, there are updates from even if you used boards previously that maybe you didn't know existed. All right. There's ways to share it with your team. And those of you who are my frontline, you are going to be, I'm finishing setting it up and you're going to see as we jump into my boards here in just a moment, you will be getting access directly to my team board because you're my frontline, you're my team. Okay, so my team is going to get access to that. So you guys will be able to do that and be able to see how that works. All right. All right. Are you getting this? Hopefully it's making a little bit of sense, I hope. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen and we are going to hop into boards on the desktop. All right, so boards on the desktop, move this out of my way here. Boards on the desktop is literally, you are going to go to boards. I actually have mine up here in my toolbar. So it will take me directly there. And when you go here for the first time, obviously you're going to need to sign up. Remember, it's free. Free for free, free for free, free. Okay, I will show you in case you are wondering, like I said, what is the difference? I am on a business plan, so I'm able to see analytics. I'm able to set content restrictions. So if I start sharing things, I can restrict it to where people cannot copy and paste if it's something that I don't want copied and pasted. I also have the ability on a business account to send messages to people who are already on a shared board. And again, I'm going to go over that, but that's what I'm saying. For those of you who you don't have a big organization or you're just getting started and this is something new that you're going to try out and use, stick with the free version, okay? There's absolutely no reason to upgrade to this for now, okay? For now, you don't need it yet. You'll see over here on the side, it shows on the left-hand side, sorry, it shows this is actually all of the boards that I have or am a member of. All right. So there's a little bit of a difference here. I want you to think of this as like a big filing cabinet. Okay. So over here, this is just the way that I've organized my filing cabinet. Okay. This is like the desk drawer. You pull it out, boom, 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 boom. Here's all my files. Okay. So anything that you see over here on the left are boards that you have access to. All right, you've either been invited by somebody, and I can see that by very easily seeing right here where I hover over the little people icon, right? It shows that that's a shared board, that somebody has shared that board with me, right? This actually happens to be boards itself, right? They send out updates. They're constantly giving you info on how to use their platform, and I love that about boards. So they are definitely making sure that they're helping you. So you'll see that that is a shared board. What this means for any board that I have shared access to, I'm going to get updates in real time. So anytime the boards, developers, whoever they are, trainers, right? Whenever they're doing any kind of updating, if they're on their end and they decide to update the FAQs, if I click on that, I'm going to see those updates in real time. That's pretty awesome. All right, so that's what I mean when I say this is a living and breathing board. Okay, it's being updated in real time. So think about this for your business. How could you utilize that concept, if you take that concept of something being updated in real time instantly with people who you've already shared this link with, how would you do that? All right, for one, you could do this from a customer perspective, right? On Facebook, we have become, this is just how we've become, okay? I'm not saying I agree with it because I think y'all know how I feel about Facebook. It is not my favorite thing, but I utilize it because my customers are there. My team is there. The people I collaborate are there, right? All of those things, right? I have to be there. But what I will say is if you start to slowly pull away from Facebook, you will see that you're able to control the information that is going out a lot easier. That for me is a big win. So while I have a VIP group on Facebook, that's wonderful, that's great. Question is, and I want you to ask yourself this question too when you think about, should I do this? Should I try this? Whatever. Are your customers actively looking at your VIP group? Are they? Are they actively looking? Because I will tell you from my perspective, yes, I can see when people have viewed it, if someone's clicked on it, if somebody actually goes in there and posts a comment or asks a question or hits the like or the heart button, whatever, right? Yes, that's great. Do I get a whole lot of engagement that way? No. The majority of my engagement comes from me reaching out to my customers, right? In more of a one-to-one communication. Either I'm messaging them, I'm texting them, maybe I'm emailing them, all of those things. Because I will tell you that not all of my customers live on Facebook 24 hours a day. They don't. Maybe yours do. Mine do not. And they certainly don't live in my VIP page actively waiting for Jacqui to do an update, right? They're not necessarily in there actively waiting. So what is a really great way that I could share information in real time with my customers? I could create a board that is specific for my customers. I'm going to show you exactly how I would do that. You're going to come here and you're going to click on Create Board. Now, when I click on Create Board, I have the option to add a board name. For this demonstration, I'm just going to name this, oops, I'm going to name this Jacqui's VIPs. Okay, there's my board name. I can even change the emoji. Look at that. All right, we're going to make it a pineapple. I don't know why. Pineapple. It's a pineapple, friends. All right, so here is my board. All right, it's blank though, right? This board is currently empty. I want to add things into this board. So how do I do that? It's telling me right over here, it's showing me this beautiful blue arrows pointing straight up to add, right? It's driving me right there. Click that add button. When you are on this add button, you're going to see you have the opportunity to select from many different options. I can create a folder inside of here, and maybe that folder, we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to name my folder limited time offers. Now, we call those LTOs. My customers may not necessarily recognize LTO as something like to pay attention to. So I'm going to call it limited time offers. I'm going to give it a little champagne emoji there, right? And anything that I put in this folder is going to be here. Now, maybe one of those things is I want to come in here and maybe I want to add an image. Let's see if I have an image saved on my computer. I should have prepped a little bit more, but you know, that full-time job. So this is probably going to take it a second to pull up. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to be updating this week by week, right? Every week in Scentsy, pretty much almost on a pretty regular basis, right? We are announcing LTOs. This past week, what did we have? We had Monsters Inc. yesterday. Our Monsters Inc. collection premiered. I love the Monsters Inc. collection, don't you? Okay. Next week, we have a new collection coming, right? Okay, so you're getting my drift. So maybe I want to go in here, and you see I've got a couple pictures. Thankfully, I do have some already saved on here of the Monsters Inc. collection. I'm just adding those in, right? And so that's this week's LTOs, right? I'm adding just pictures of what we have offered. Now, maybe within here, I wanted to also create some text, and I want to come in here and I want to say Monsters Inc. And I want to say, we scare because we care. That's from Monsters Inc. in case you didn't know. All right, and then I could go in and I can talk about the product options. I can also talk about the product pricing, right? Maybe I can talk about any personal specials I'm running with that promotion, right? I could go on and on and on. You get the point, right? So I'm going to put all of that info here so my customers can just very quickly come in here, click it, see it, boom, boom, boom. Every week I can come in here and then I can go back and go, okay, well now it's no longer Monsters Inc. Now it's Ahsoka. And I'm going to need to update that. So I need to delete out the Monsters Inc. stuff. So I'm going to just select that. I'm going to select that one. I'm going to select that one. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Monsters Inc. info out of there. And I'm going to click delete. Yes, I want to delete that content. So now it's empty. Now I can create again, right? Now, as I do this though, in my VIP, I'm able to share this board, right? It's now shared this link. So all I have to do is maybe text this out, maybe use Project Broadcast. I could text out this link to all of my VIP customers. And this way they will be able to get boards as an app on their phone because it's free. It's free. They don't have to pay for it, right? They're not utilizing it. I'm just using it as a resource. They're going to be able to utilize that. Every time that I make an update to this, they're going to be able to see it in real time. That's really effective, right? All right, so that's great from a customer perspective. Okay, so that's just one example of how you could use that with your customers, using boards with your customers. Let me talk about another way to do that in our business, and that would be myself as a leader, right? This is for my team. Everybody is going to be added to this board. That's my team name, right? Hashtag Scent365, baby, because that's what we do around here. We are 365, 24/7. And everything that I need my team to be updated on is going to be included in here, right? So I have this really great place. I've created a page, and this is specifically for new consultants, right? So when someone joins, they can come in here, they can read all about it. I've got my group linked in here. I've got information on the Shooting Star Award, the Sensational Start Award, how they're going to get paid, some great little graphics, right? Because we're very visual creatures, aren't we? How to create a VIP Facebook group. I give them instructions there. I also have included a video that I've done that actually shows that. I have an app that I utilize through JotForm, so that's a link directly to it. And again, just telling them about their workstation. Then they have all of these other resources here at their fingertips. Very, very easy. Now, as soon as I share this with them, right, I'm going to be able to anything once they become a member, right, accept it and become a member, they will be able to see anytime that I make a change here, they are going to be able to see it on their end in real time. It's a living and breathing board because I'm going to share it with others. It's living and breathing. So it's updating in real time. I don't have to send them new links when I update something. I can just say, hey guys, check out the team board, and you're going to see that new folder I put out there about fall and winter catalog tips. Maybe that's a folder I'm going to create and put out there. Everything will be included in that, right? And again, I don't have to resend the link. All I have to do is say, just check the board, check the board, check the board. When new team members are joining, they're going to have access to it right away. So that is just one of the most amazing ways that you can use boards. Now, I want to go ahead and show you. Let's go ahead and do this in the Jacqui's VIPs because I don't really have too much happening over here. I want to just show you a couple things before we get to the next piece of the training, and that will be jumping into my phone. So what are some really great updates that Boards has done lately, right? We've created a folder. You saw how I did that. Page is really, it is a brand new resource. I personally am in love with this. So a page, when I click that, you'll see it's going to pull this up so I can start creating it. I want you to think of page, it literally is like a landing page, like you are creating a website. For those of you who are familiar with Canva and maybe a scrolling website, right? So maybe you've done a scrolling party. Maybe that's how you share your information about onboarding with your new team members, anything like that, right? This is the same exact thing, only it's in boards. So it's a really great way to just put a lot of information. And in fact, when we were on my team board, that was in fact what you saw on the new consultant. So you can see here, that little icon looks like a page. That means that that's what this is. It's a page. So all of this is just different pieces that I've put in, right? I've added images. I've added links. I've added a video. We saw the video, right? We also saw this link right here, right? I created a button with a link. So when I am here and I'm creating a page, this page is currently empty. Yes, I know. And just delete it, and I'm going to add it. Now, obviously, once I save it, it's going to save, but I didn't save it. All right, so this page is currently empty. How do you want it to look on mobile? Because let's be honest, the majority of us are probably going to be looking at these things from a mobile point of view, right? From our phones. This is going to be the same way that it's going to be for your customers. It's probably the same way it's going to be for your team members. For the most part, right? It's still obviously on a desktop version is going to look just fine, but you want to be able to see what it looks like. So maybe I want to come in here and I want to add an image to the page first as like a great header. I want to do that. I'm just going to throw in, here's my sticker, or actually, let's just do this. It's just a picture. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's just a picture that I've thrown in. Yay, there's Jacqui. Okay, now maybe what I want to do is I want to do a headline. And I'm going to say, welcome to the cozy season. I love fall. I love fall. I also love the fact that while we are in here, even though we're on the desktop version, I can actually come in here and still get access to the emojis. And that for me is something that I really appreciate that Boards allows us to do, because oops, for the most part, again, most of us are looking at things on our phone, and a lot of times when you're in an app that's on the desktop version, you don't have the option to add emojis, and I like the fact that you can here. So I'm going to just create that headline. So you can see as we're going over here, that's how it's looking, right? Maybe I want the headline to go first. You'll see that when I come over here and hover over it, it's giving me the option to move it. I can actually click and drag, and now I can rearrange this any way I want. It's fabulous. I love it. All right, so now maybe I want to create a button. I want to put a button in here. When I click on button, you'll see I now have access to create a button to send them anywhere I want them to go, right? Maybe I want to send them to a Zoom link because maybe I'm going to do an opportunity meeting or something, right? Maybe you want to send them, like I do, to my website. Oh, it already puts that in there. I'm going to put my website in there, and the label is going to be, check out the brand new products here. Boom. Again, you know I love it. I have the option to add an emoji. Yes, it's fantastic. I know. All right. This button sends visitors to the link above. So again, whatever link you're putting in here, right? Click done. Now you'll see, now there is, when you're over here on the preview, right? That's how I got those buttons. So when they click on, again, it's a clickable button on the page, right? It's a living and breathing thing. Right? I love it. I just love it. Another newer feature, which they even show on here, is new. And one of the only ways that you can do this feature is from the desktop version, and that is with a form, right? So as you can see, I'm kind of setting this up more or less for a customer point of view, right? So this is for my customers. Maybe this is something I would be sending out. So maybe one of the things I want my customers to do, right? Contact me. Maybe I want them to contact me. I can name this whatever I want, right? Let's just say connect with me. I like connect better. Connect with me, right? I can make this required or not, right? So I want it required because I want a name. I want a phone number so I can be able to add them to any text or any communication that I'm going to do that way, right? I do want their email because, of course, I want to capture them in there. So when I'm sending out customer emails, notifications of specials, or just communicating with them when their order ships or for follow-ups, I want it there. Now in this message section, what this is going to do is this is just going to give them an opportunity to add in anything, right? So I can put here, tell me your favorite scents. Because what I'm going to ask them to do is, again, tell me their favorite scents. Do they love Cinnamon Bear? Do they love Christmas Cottage? Do they love maybe one of the new ones, right? Maybe they like Frosty Air, one of the brand new scents because they got my mailing. I don't know, right? I want to know. I want to know. You also have the opportunity to add a field down here. Now, again, you can add this and make it be whatever you wanted. I don't think we need an extra field. Form settings. So this is the button label, right? I'm going to make it say connect, or click here to connect. Let's say that. Click here to connect. When they do it, I'm going to say thank you so much, because that's just more my wording, and where the responses will be sent to from this form. So obviously this is my email that I've registered through Boards. That's what Boards uses as my email. If you have maybe a work email that you would prefer responses going to, you do have the ability to edit that and change that email. For me, I use one email. I like to keep things simple. I don't need extra emails to go be checking all day long. Now I'm going to click done. And when I do that, we're going to come over here back to our preview, right on the right-hand side. Remember, there's my heading. Remember, I can change that if maybe I don't like the way it looks. Maybe I want to move it down underneath my picture. Okay, so now I've moved that. I've still got that button. And you'll see this is what the form actually looks like on their end. And so, whereas, yes, I could create a button right here and link in my Jot form and put that link there, but that's another click and another click that they would have to take, right? If I'm capturing them in my board, then I want it to be as easy as possible for them to simply give me their info or find something out, right? Again, I'm trying to look for people's favorite scents. So maybe as we go through the catalog season, maybe I know that Samantha, when she orders, she loves cinnamon scents. So whenever we get a new cinnamon scent, like frosted cinnamon roll, right? I'm going to make sure that Samantha is getting a sample of that. Well, I would like to say that all of my customers are going to get a sample, but I specifically want to make sure that when that new scent comes out, that I'm really targeting and talking to my customers with the things that they want to know, right? The things that they want to know, the things that they love, the things that they like. Do they like the laundry products? Do they like the clean products? Are they wax and warmers? Are they a diffuser person, right? All of those things, right? I like to be able to connect with them and build those relationships. So keeping little nuggets of information like that is good for me, right? As a business owner with my customers. Now, if we were utilizing this, creating a page, maybe this is for your team, maybe you're a leader, right? Maybe you would say, do you want to set up a coaching call with me, right? This would be a really great option to create a form for that. Let's set up a coaching call, right? I would ask for their name, their phone number, their email, and then down there, what are your goals for this month, right? And then click here to set up your call, right? And so then when they do that, they'll be able to set it up, and then I'll have all that information, because all of that information, when they click the click here to connect with me, is going to go to my email. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous, right? Can I get an amen? Amen. Okay. Again, you can see how we can just continue building this page. This is just a page. This is one of the reasons that I think boards is a very, very valuable and powerful tool in our business, because of all the ways that we can use it. I just love it for that, okay? All right, so once you've added in all of your things, right? Now you see it, you like how it's laid out. Yep, you're happy with that. Maybe you want to add more and more and more. I don't know. Add as much as you want. I'm going to click done. Boom. Now it's here in my VIP. And so anytime that my VIPs, because this is a living and breathing board, right, for my VIPs, because they got the link, anytime I update this, they're going to get it. When they click on it, this is what they're going to see every single time, right? So maybe I want to change that from connect with me to get the newest samples or something like that, right? Whatever I want my form to now say. Maybe I want to link it when the holiday collection drops, right? Right. Okay. So again, you can see how I can come in here, I can customize this, I can create it in real time, and it's going to update for whoever has the link to this board. Pretty cool, right? All right, let me go ahead again. You'll see again, this is how I set it up for my team, right? They're gonna have access to this. Some of the ways that I personally use it. So you'll see here, I have a customers board. So I have in here all of the different ways that I'm using to connect with customers, right? So my follow-up, for example, so when I click on that folder, all of my info is here. Again, all I have to do is open it. It will copy and paste directly, again, from my, oops, chucked myself in the eye, from my phone, right? So when I'm on my phone, again, I don't have time to write out that whole thank you necessarily if I'm in the middle of a work shift, but I do have time to see, oh my gosh, they ordered from me. Let me go ahead and very quickly just click my board's keyboard, click that. It's going to insert that into the email or to the text, however it is that I'm communicating with them. I can then edit it as needed on that text or in that email, and then just hit send. Boom, done. Boom, done. That's how easy it is. you are going to have a powerful tool in your hand. It's going to make your follow-ups easier. It's going to make communicating with your team easier. It's going to create ways that you can build relationships like we did when we were looking at the Jacqui's VIP, right? That's going to be a really great way for me to communicate with my VIPs directly. So when I have a new unboxing video, all I have to do is upload it to this board. Boom, it's a living and breathing board. They're going to have access to it right away. I could change that in and out as needed, right? Because I want them seeing the latest and greatest stuff. That's where all of this comes into play. Another really great thing is our ladies at Thursday Night Shift. You know, they have done a lot of really great things. So when I come over here to the shared with me, I can see boards that have been shared with me, right? That I don't necessarily have the ability to edit or access, but I can just see their information. So there was a really great program that the ladies on Thursday Night Shift did, that they do. In fact, the new one's coming up, right? So they did share their board. And so again, I have very quick access to everything that they shared with us through this. That's a really fantastic tool, right? Am I right? Okay, it is. That is just one of the ways that you can share out some really great information. Social media, this is just a folder that I've created, right? And what I keep in here, as you'll see, are a lot of my hashtags. Is anybody else, when you're posting on Instagram or Twitter, whatever it's called now, or TikTok, or even on Facebook, and you want to include all those hashtags, you're just like, oh, I gotta type out all the hashtags. Here's a really quick and easy way, friends. All right, so you can see this was during the month of June. I just created this with all of the hashtags that I was currently using that month. And then that way, when I'm on my phone, uploading a picture or anything to Instagram or wherever I was, right, and updating that, and I wanted to include hashtags and not have to type them out every time. It was really easy to click that on the keyboard on my phone, boop, and then it would automatically paste right in to the caption of my Instagram. Genius, right? Genius. All right, so that's just some of the ways that I personally start. I also have an onboarding. Again, it's just a really easy way for me to share with the people who are joining my team, right, that I personally sponsor, customers. We kind of went through that with follow-ups, things like that. So this is just, again, just really quick and easy ways. These are ways for myself as I'm working towards SSD, right? These are just the things that I like to be able to come in here and utilize. And when I'm sponsoring, right? So for a new sponsor, I have things in here for new sponsors, so they have access to all of that info. I created a page, you'll see down here, right? So all of that is in here. It's just a big, long information, but it really saves me from, again, having to type it out, having to send it out, all of the things. I will tell you, boards completely changed how I was working my business. You guys have heard me in the past talk about working smarter, not harder, right? So for me, boards is a really quick and easy way for me to work smarter and not harder. It's a really quick and easy way for me as a very busy person to still work my business full time. It's a really quick and easy way for me to communicate with my customers. It's a really great and easy way for me to quickly communicate with my team. All of these ways are a great example of how I utilize boards in my business. I want you guys, if you haven't already, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not telling you to utilize boards, but what I'm saying is look at all the capabilities you have within one application. And it's free. Now, I can say that that's all of today, right? I don't know. Who knows, as of next year, maybe they'll start charging for this. I don't know. Like I said, if once you start utilizing it and maybe you start getting more and more into it, you want to see more of the analytics, who's clicking on it, you want to be able to create content on a scalable basis, right? Things like that. Okay, you don't maybe necessarily even need the ability to go into boards and do all of those things and upgrade to the plan. You don't have to do all of that. Okay, so again, what I'm really trying to emphasize to you guys is this: spend the money on your business where you need to spend it. I think number one, numero uno, needs to be your PWS. You need to have a PWS. Plain and simple. You just do. For one, that's how people are going to be shopping, right? That's also how people are going to join your team. And if you are working this as a business, you need people joining your team. You need to be building a wide front line. You need to be sponsoring. You need to be able to have a place that your customers can go to order from you on a regular basis. You need to have a place where your customers can go to just view the catalog if you don't have the ability to mail out a catalog to every single one of your customers. Because you can very easily send the link from your PWS to your customers. Spend the money on your business where it needs to be. It needs to be on the PWS. So while you can spend money on some really great other apps like Jotform can be free. You can utilize that on a free basis, right? But once you get over so many forms, you do need to upgrade. Canva can be free to an extent, right? And most of us can probably use it on the free version, but you may have to start paying for it if you get really technical and excited about it. Those are all extras. Utilize the free capabilities that are available. This is one of them. Like I said, you're going to have so many different ways that you can utilize this. Now, I do want you guys to remember, like I said, keep in mind, I am going to be doing a follow-up video to this that is all from my phone. So you're going to be seeing it directly from my phone, how I'm actually using it in real time from my phone. For me personally, when I am setting up things like this, like we just showed with the pages, setting up that text content and all of that, the hashtags and everything else, for me, it's just a lot quicker for me to do it from the desktop version. So if you're anything like me and you're just quicker to type things out and set things up and it's a bigger space to look at and work on, start doing it from your desktop first. And then you can just download the app to your phone. You can still continue to edit and do all of the things from your phone as well. But again, for me, I'm just going to tell you right here and now, it's much easier for me to create a lot of my bulk content on the desktop. But if you don't have the ability to do that, it's fine, right? You can still do it all from your phone. The app is free. Go to your app store, go to the Google Play Store, whatever the Droid thing is. I don't know. I'm an Apple person, right? Just get on and download it. It will just create a alternate keyboard for you on your phone. It will be accessible for you. All right, guys. So be watching for that next video. It is coming very, very soon. And happy boards. And I hope this training helped you a lot.